Shit, you come look.
Once upon a time, there was a man named Tebow. He liked to go fishing. He went on a deep sea fishing trip um, with some friends. They took him out there, and he had his gear, and he was out there fishing. He was trying to get it going. Caught a couple of fish. Drink some beers, smoke some weed or whatever. Time goes on. He's hanging out with the friends, and I don't know. He slips. He slips and falls. He busts his head on the boat, and it's like fish blood and human blood is all mixed up together. And you can't tell how bad he's bleeding because it's fish fish blood everywhere. Don't know how hurt he is, and he thinks he's fine, and continues fishing, and ends up bleeding to death. I don't know. I just made that up. I was trying
His
to go with a
his his
twist.
D, his DNA is fucked up now because now he got his blood and fish blood mixed up together in his body.
There you go. That's a better ending. Come to
Oh,
find out, his blood type works with fish blood, and they use that as a
he
transfusion
went
to
deep
keep him
sea fish,
alive.
so now he got had he part tuna. I don't know, swordfish. I don't know. Yeah, he got some dolphin in him now.
He
Dang.
knows how to communicate to the dolphins now. He know how to speak their language and shit.
Uh,
Elliot
yeah.
says, "I can speak much, but my first book is gonna be called American Holocaust. Second book is gonna be Real Eyes, Real Lies, Real Lies."
Ooh, shit.
Doc
Uh,
says he knows that whatever gets her will be the luckiest boy. She knows that whoever gets him will be the luckiest girl. But the irony is that they weren't lucky to get each other. Hmm.
Hey, Elliot, get with me on it with the book, man. Shoot, I might be able to help you out with the publishing.
Yep. And I could do some editing. I'm good at it. Yeah, man. It's like stories, stories, stories. It's all about that. In our life, I think that they really important, and it does something. It triggers something in our mind. When we read stories or we write stories or or we hear people telling stories, it triggers something. It's like you sit around the campfire, right? They think that in human evolution, a big part of it was that when it got to the point where humans was eating more meat, and it was probably fish, and they were spending more time like chilling, hanging around the fire, and telling stories. And they think that that's had a huge impact on how our brains got bigger
Hmm.
from an evolutionary standpoint. So it's really something heavy when it comes to the sitting around the campfire and chopping it up. It's a spiritual thing that happens. Looking at the fire. What do y'all think about this? I played a video in the past where it was talking about fire. It's like, is it alive or not? It moves. It
Is
has
a
a
Yeah, it's
fire
life.
alive.
a lie?
Yes, fire alive. It moves. It has a lifespan. You know, um, it
I mean, you pretty
breathes.
much answering your own question. I mean,
What
yeah.
do y'all What do y'all think? Do y'all think it's alive? I think it's alive. What do y'all think?
Yeah, it's
I would
alive because
definitely.
it's just like us. Without oxygen, it dies.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing with any life form. I mean, shoot, that's when the breath is gone, when you're not taking in oxygen anymore, it's not. You might see a little bit of smoke, but the fire is pretty much dead.
I got a
You
story.
know.
I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know how to put out a fire. I didn't know that back when I was a kid that fires needed oxygen. to keep burning, and one way to take away the oxygen was to dump salt on it. So we were back in the day. We stayed in these apartments called Crofton Place, and Chaka used to come home on some old suave shit and try to and bake chicken and make green beans and rice with butter and shit. And this nigga started a grease fire on the stove. And we was all in that motherfucker, hot in the motherfucker. And Chaka damn near caught on fire grabbing the salt. And he dumped salt on it and the fire went out. I
No,
was like, how you do that shit? And he was like, cause salt turns the fire off.
that sound like some more intellectual ass, scholar ass shit he would try to pull on
Hey,
somebody.
hey, bro. And me and Myron was standing in the kitchen laughing like a motherfucker, bro. Cause this nigga damn near went up and his shirt damn near engulfed in flames. We standing there like, whoa, fire. He was fucked up. This nigga Chaco was pissed, bro.
Y'all,
I think
y'all,
that nigga cooked and didn't even eat that night. That nigga was mad at us, bro.
why?
Yeah.
Because he set the place on fire.
No, because we was standing in the kitchen and we were supposed to be watching whatever the fuck he had some grease doing something. And the grease start popping. And that shit just oh, that's what it was. That nigga Chaka was cooking for this for his little old thing that was coming through. What was old girl name? Tamika. That nigga was trying to bake cookies. And the fucking he was trying to bake chicken and bake cookies, and somehow he meant to turn on
Wait a minute,
the oven was already
he
on.
baking chicken and cookies at the same time.
No, he was putting cookies out. He was putting cookies on the little cookie sheet thing that he had, and he done something. He went to turn the oven down, or he turned it up to brown the chicken, because he
Oh,
had took the aluminum foil off, and this nigga ended up turning on the pot. You know how you fry something and you leave a pot of grease just sitting on the stove? You
on
usually
top.
put the
Okay.
top back on it. Yeah.
I,
And that shit started popping, and me and Myron didn't realize it. We in this bitch eating cookie dough because we hot in the motherfucker. This shit catch on fire.
I ain't gonna lie. This shit, the story was confusing me because I'm a little scientific on it. I'm like, wait a minute, you baking and you just started a fire. Now I see fires start up on the stove,
All the
on the
time.
stove top. Yeah, all the time. But the oven, like
Gotta be
you
gotta be
gotta be
creative.
real. You right. You gotta be real creative to get a fucking fire going in the oven.
Shit, I used to bake pizzas on top of the pizza boxes, so that's a way to do it. But it works.
Oh damn.
Let me read some comments. Elliot says folk tales. That's when we were talking about a little bit behind. Fire reminds me of the phoenix. He says energy never dies, it transforms. Doc says, I think you are like the sky. He said, how come? She asked. Unreachable, blue, and infinite. He said, looking in her eyes. Man, I should use that line. That sounds like something that'll work.
Yeah, for you.
You are like the sky. How come? Unreachable, blue, and infinite.
I don't think I ever dated anybody with some blue eyes. So
Hell
uh,
no. I don't have no pickup lines. I just got conversation. No
yeah.
you
pickup
know what I'm
lines.
saying? Even the
I
white
just
girls I
talk.
dated, their eyes wasn't blue.
Shit, the eyes don't have to be blue. The line's still gonna work. Elliot says, stop, drop, and roll. Doc says, did you hear this new song? I am so in love with this. I didn't like it at all that much. She deleted it from her playlist and he played it on repeat. That reminds me of the story where it's like the two people, they're in love and they're poor and they're trying to find the nicest gift for each other. And it's like the woman sells her hair to buy the guy something. He ends up buying a comb. She can't use it no more because she cut her hair off, and he bought her. Damn it, I can't remember. My brain is all screwed. Basically, they both bought things that were useless, and because they used what they that person bought the thing for. Damn, that make any sense? Elliot says
No,
my
I know
face
what you're
hurts from
saying.
laughing.
Yeah, man.
Remember, we want you to be an activist, and don't take our word for it. Look that shit up. Pulley. It says, let me read the caption. It says, nothing comes to you fully assembled, but many women want and expect every piece she desires. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, because even if you get midst of what you want, some assembly is required. I know you're being taught by this culture that it shouldn't be that way, and that's why so many of you are unhappy. But blame it on Jesus or whatever. That was the caption. What do y'all think?
That shit was funny as fuck when I heard that video. Because them dudes are already funny. Him and DC Young Fly and the other cat that be on there with him.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chico,
yeah,
Chico
yeah,
Bean.
yeah,
Well, I don't.
yeah.
I didn't really get the caption, but yeah, I've seen that video a couple. I actually saw the actual podcast he was on when it came on. Was it Big Old Facts or something
Yeah, that's what it was.
podcast that he was on? So I saw it then, back a couple months ago when it was on. But yeah, I mean, shoot, that's the whole thing. I mean, women been doing that for a while, bro. Like they fantasize about all these different things, and shoot, we gotta even wonder, do that person even exist? I mean, shit, you,
You looking for a
I,
unicorn?
yeah,
I don't think us as guys, we really fantasize about that, bro. Like, like we
nah,
don't grow up planning out our lives. You know what I'm saying? How women or girls, they playing with dolls, they playing house, they're doing like this shit. Us as dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we really think about that, bro. I think we meet somebody and the vibe feel right. She feels straight. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all got something in
yeah. I mean, she
common.
cool.
Y'all connect, and I think that's what
Shoot,
it is for
we
dudes.
look at them and be like, all right, you know what? That little limp ain't that bad. You know the, she a little on the heavy side, but
Yeah,
them cheeks kind of sit. Shoot, them
yeah,
titties. Like we recreate like, the things that's wrong with them. We kind of recreate it in our mind to make it
yeah,
tolerable.
yeah. It's like
To
I don't mind them stretch marks. That's them tiger stripes. They actually look cute.
you know what I'm
Uh,
saying? Shoot, them, yeah,
uh,
what they call those stretch marks is like a roadmap to the, you know what? But
yeah,
Let me read Doc's
yeah,
comment. He knew what I was talking about. The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry. He sells his watch to buy her a brush, and she sells her hair to buy a watch chain, like a watch band or whatever. Yeah,
Doc, we all missed you, but I'm sure Chaka really missed you
I do,
because
I do, I do, I do, I do.
Has some competition. His name, Paul Pelosi
Paulie.
Jr. As far as we can tell, he's never had a real job, the kind where you have to punch a clock. So what does Paulie Jr. do all day? Well, last week, Nancy snuck little Paulie on her plane to Asia. His name wasn't listed as part of the official delegation. They didn't want you to know Paul went to Asia with his mom. But if you look closely at the photos, there he is. Paulie P. Jr., about as unqualified as Hunter, with all the big dogs there in Asia. He was also caught by foreign photographers in Singapore and Japan. The U.S. press, who covered every move Nancy made in the Pacific, somehow never noticed that her son Paul was along for the ride. He was even wearing the same purple tie he wore when he went to Ukraine. Oh, you didn't know he went to Ukraine? Well, yeah, we didn't either. You won't find any trace of this on the speaker's website because she didn't want you to know about Paulie Jr. What was her son doing there? He's not an elected official. He's not an advisor to Nancy. He doesn't even live in Washington. but he was greeted as royalty by the president of Taiwan. Watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Chairman Meeks, Chairman Takano, Vice Chairperson Delbene, Chairman Krishnamurti, Congressman Kim, Director Alkirk, Mr. Pelosi, dear guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Well, we know Mr. Pelosi doesn't refer to Paul Pelosi Sr. because he had a prior obligation last week, as we've been reporting. Now, if you check the speaker's website, you could read the official transcript from that event that we just played for you. But Pelosi's office edited the part out of the transcript where they mentioned Mr. Pelosi. Isn't Nancy proud of her son? Well, maybe not.
Okay. I
Yeah,
get it.
no, I mean that's the point. Yeah, I mean we get it. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like these people are so like why like they acting very bold right now. Like I can't. I'm not even gonna assume that like shit like this hadn't happened before, but like it happened so undercover at some point to now. It's just like they don't give a shit.
Yeah, but what I would say, my first comment on this is that this is not just the Democrats. This is everybody does this. Like literally everyone does
No,
this. This is
but see, I hear what you
common.
say. See, but I get you. That's why I just said like I don't think that this is new. But look at how like it's clumsily done. Like I mean, before like we would have never known that like this was going down. Like they would have done something totally different. Like you know, yeah, he would have came on a different flight. He would have like whatever, everything would have been done in the background to some extent. These people are so bold now. It's just like they don't care. Like shit. Look at even how Pelosi and her husband are doing these deals. Like bro, 700. Like it was something showing where the husband they got 700,000 shares of a company. Like for what? I
Yeah.
don't know, bro.
Well,
Like, but
it's real simple. It's business, right? You know, what we was talking about in the other video about relationships. You know, you do business with people that you know that you feel comfortable with. You know,
man,
so
them people ain't comfortable with Pelosi. They look, Pelosi is offering something that nobody else can really offer. Her position, like she's like, I mean, she's two people away from being the president.
yeah, very powerful person.
So I mean, that's what it is. I mean, yeah, you utilizing your political power, but all over the world, and that just shows to me, like, you know, that's one of the reasons why they're angry with Trump, because Trump is like, look, I'm about America. I'm about building up America and getting the people of America straight. Let's let's build more business here, where everybody else is kind of like shit. Well, you know, shit, I can do this over here and this over there, and I think that's one of the, because that's how it was kind of relative to me. It's just like them and their global views.
But you're looking at it, I think, from a perspective of one side versus the other. Did you feel like Trump didn't do the like exact same things, like exactly the same?
Show me where he did it.
Well, he brought his kids everywhere. He appointed his kids in all kinds of positions they wasn't freaking qualified for. They was all over the world, fucking selling their businesses. That's what was happening.
No, that's not the same thing. Because I mean, if Trump did that with like with Putin, or like, you know, yeah, they had private meetings or whatever, but at the same time, it's because of what they knew how the other side would respond to it. Because it's like them, we would have been in war. Like if what's her name, Hillary had won, bro. Like we would already be living in a ruined world. There's a lot of things that Trump did that kept us from going to war with a lot of these different countries that they called communists or the evil people. But if
That
you
that
look at
that could be true, but that's beside the point. Did he
this,
not bring his family members? They're talking about her bringing her family member
him,
overseas.
no, him hiring his kids to work on in his administration was because he couldn't trust nobody but them. But Pelosi bringing her son, those are totally different things. Pelosi and Biden with Hunter bringing them into these other countries is so that they could soak up money for their family on with you know the power of the U.S.
And Trump did the exact same thing, bro.
Prove it.
It's
Prove
all
it.
kind of cases, bro. I mean, that's what I'm telling you. If you just
No,
look at it, you'll see
okay,
it. You're
but
blinding
no. See,
yourself to it.
and you're defending Democrats.
I'm not. I'm telling you that they're
I'm
both
just
do it. That's
no.
what's the problem is.
But
That's
when I started out, I just because I wasn't trying to make it no Democrat Republican thing. I just said I'm not saying that this didn't happen before, but look at how bold they are, but bro, like it's more than evident. Like if Trump did it, he's way smarter than these people because nobody has a sign up. Because if he had, they would have indicted him on that. Because this stuff is criminal. It really is. But who's gonna indict him? Nobody.
the corruption is rampant, but it's both sides. That's my point. Doc says the only opinion that matters to them are the ones they tell us we have. I wholeheartedly agree with that. He said he hired his kids and they were part of the administration. Pelosi's kids had no standing in the government and is not part of the official administration. What about his wife, y'all? Y'all remember his wife going with them and opening businesses or whatever? She's not a part of no administration. She was taking
That's
advantage.
not true. Where? Opening businesses where?
Oh my God, y'all don't know this stuff? I can't do it. I can't do it if y'all don't know that. Y'all got to look that up.
No,
Bro,
where?
I'm not pulling this out my ass. This is a thing that happened. And it wasn't just her. Other family members not having nothing to do with the administration. Y'all are just trying to look at this from one side, and that's where y'all getting lost.
No, his wife is a part of the administration. She is the first lady. So she is a part of the administration.
She was opening businesses that benefit her personally. Her personal businesses.
With political power?
Yes. Standing next to Trump.
You gotta show me. I gotta see.
Look it up. Type it in y'all search bar, please.
Man,
don't take it from me, please. I'm lying. Of course, I'm lying. Look it up so that you can see that I'm lying.
See, the proof is not supposed to be on me because you the one saying it. You supposed to give me the resources.
Oh my God, it's so many. That's what be driving me crazy whenever y'all say this. I don't know how you haven't seen it. It's there.
Bro, it kind of sounds like everybody else. You're usually better than this. Like you could tell you if you say like usually you'll be no. She started such.
I don't really feel like looking it up because it's so many. It's so many examples of this.
It's so many. Yeah, that sounds like how that
There's a long list.
That sounds like the average Democrat is like, oh, really? Like never pointing out proof.
My point.
That's not true, bro.
My point is, it's not one side or the other when it comes to this specific ass topic that this guy is talking about in this video. They all do this. All of them do it. There's no exceptions. Like all of them do this. All of them use their power. All of them bring their kids. It's a damn. What is the word for it? There's a word for it.
Wild. But look, let me ask you this: is it like? Because I mean, while you're in office, because that's one of the things. Like it's like they're not like that's the whole thing. Like they're not supposed to do it while they're in office. That's why she's dragging her son behind.
I'm not saying it's right. They're corrupt. They're corrupt on both sides. Fox News wants to point to the corruption on that side and not see the corruption on its side because it's taking a side and it's like, what my people do is never wrong. They don't do this stuff. Y'all the ones that do this. The other side is like, look at the corruption that y'all doing right here. Y'all, we don't do no
Doc,
corruption. The corruption
you
is
hear
y'all. Both
Doc, you hear him,
sides.
right? You hear him.
Nepotism. Yes, yes, yes. That's the word I was looking for. Nepotism, nepotism. That's the word I'm looking for. And then the thing is, people don't think that's really a bad thing under normal circumstances. They're like, oh, they're just looking out for their kids, their cousins and stuff like that. Like, brother-in-law, wife-in-law, whatever the hell. That you don't think of that as a weird, as wrong. Our society actually condones this behavior. We really do. Even that's why we worship them. We worship the elites. We
Well,
feel
no,
like they're
but most people
better.
take the side of the people that they like more. Like they make excuses for the people that they seem to like have taken. Like if they're like a lot of people, like let's just say, because I mean I'm more on defense of certain people instead of trying to take, say, I'm on their side. But like you can't say that like Pelosi and Biden, because I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's others. I mean, Mitch McConnell, is he just really that much smarter than everybody else than to get and
But you just named 3 Democrats. Can you name 3 Republicans that do the same shit?
no, because I don't know any. I mean,
Oh,
I can name 3, but I like I just are you hearing me? Because I'm trying to tell you what I'm saying is that okay, let's just assume that we should assume that there's more than just these people that's doing it. But who is done it so wide open in the public? Like I mean, this stuff is captured on freaking video.
what is the guy who is fuck. See, I can't think. That's what I don't like this, because I'm gonna fuck up with the names and which state it is, and the guy, he has a coal mining industry. He owns it. He's a senator, and this guy is on the Republican side, and this is blatant as corruption related to the coal industry and his private businesses. And he's setting up his family members all kinds of ways through Congress. I can't think of his name. It's blatant as hell. It's on the Republican side. My point is they all do it.
I didn't say that they all weren't doing it, but you cannot say that as wide open as it, because that was the blatancy is my whole point. It's like they've gotten to the point to where like they're so like F you America, fuck the American people, to where like this is like how easily like them being able to broadcast it. Who have they broadcasted that out about? Like
I agree with you that it's blatant,
that's all I'm saying. I never
but it's
said that
not.
it wasn't. I didn't
You're
never
saying
said
it's
it.
one side. You're only mentioning
No,
Democrats. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's all of them.
this is the proof. This is what a proof is. This is on video. I started out by saying that I can't say that this has not been happening anyway, and I wasn't taking one side, but like we've already seen Hunter, the proof that's been coming out about him for the last year or two, and then now with Pelosi, I'm just talking about the blatant like disrespect. Like look,
It
look,
is.
I'm doing this.
It
Like I
is.
don't give a.
It's blatant and it's disrespectful. I completely agree. Doc says in a family business it happens. In politics it shouldn't. So yeah, it becomes corruption when it's in politics. I agree. He said Virginia Senator Joe Manchin. So that's who I was talking about, Joe Manchin. I
Yeah.
knew I
So
knew I was gonna get
okay,
his name wrong.
but like I said, like my whole thing was trying not to even take a side. But yeah, I'm pointing out the Democrats, but these are the ones who are so like to hell with y'all. I'm going over here. I'm making this money. I'm doing what I'm gonna do, and I dare y'all to try to tell me what I'm gonna do or not do.
I would agree. Nancy Pelosi does carry herself that way. But my whole point is that she's not the only one.
Yeah, but I mean, but you're making it as if I'm just picking on the Democrats, which I love doing. But that's not what the whole thing was about. You go back and you revisit what I said in this video, you'll see that like it's not it's totally my point is totally aside from what points you thinking I'm making. Like it's not about Democrat because I mean, if it was, I was like, ooh, like they like if it was Trump, I would have been like, ooh, this nigga gangster. Just like I said, anybody who talking about Biden is not a gangster, okay,
Yeah,
because
he's G'd up. Definitely. Nancy Pelosi too.
yeah,
She looked like she in the mafia with them outfits that she
man,
wears.
bro, she say, bro, she is a mob boss. Like, look, shit, if it ain't like it ain't no telling how many people she got on the payroll throughout her family. Cause I mean, we talking about shit. We talking about multi shit. This is probably going. They might be a billionaires on the low.
Doc says, I point out the Dems more because they try to intimidate and
Cancel.
cancel anyone that points out their corruption, while quite often reps that do it tend to get rolled over by their own party. And that's what's so like, I agree with you on that because the Democrats are trying to like, they have this image like, okay, we're better than the other side or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, we're cleaner than them or whatever. Like, I don't know, some
Doc,
kind of image.
Doc, I say thank you for giving me a little bit of some legitimacy here, because I'm just trying to pick on, because I love picking on the Democrats. I love it because it's so easy. It's really easy, but that's not where I was going with all that. And it's just like, come on, bro. Like I understand the regular pushback, but like you really gonna like really go at me on this for real? Like with all of like Blake, like this is on fucking video. Like they ain't seen nobody the in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen that yet on the Republican side, because at least they discreet enough, you know what I'm saying, to be like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna keep this as hush hush. Let me just make me a couple of million and get the fuck on back home. No, these motherfuckers want hundreds of millions, and it's wide open. Like they ain't playing. Like, and they getting it. They know that they party is pretty much over, and they trying to get what they can get while they can get it.
I don't know. The next cycle is going to be interesting. I'm going to be watching it. It's going to be interesting. Who knows what the hell's going to happen?
Man, their plan. See, their plan was to get people to only vote Democrat from here on out. It's that plan is over. Like I really believe there's a lot of Democrats just kind of like, damn this shit. Like I done been on this roller coaster long enough, and hopefully my cries have been heard.
Doc says, can y'all hear me? I had to reboot and shit. Doc says it all goes back to the whole gay thing. Representatives are better at keeping it in the closet. Republicans, okay. um, that's funny because there was a joke. What was it I saw? Like I ain't gonna bring it up, but they trolled some representatives with these text messages that said it had pictures of Trump or something like that, and it was really funny how many of them clicked on it. I think that was what's his name? John Oliver did that on the
Damn.
This Week Tonight.
Late.
Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah.
so it was real. It wasn't fake. He hacked their phones and shit. And he
Damn.
said it was surprisingly easy.
What? Wow. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, it was like something like, "Do you want to see pictures of Trump naked?" Or "We got pictures of Trump naked," or some shit like that. And a
Bro,
whole bunch of them clicked on it.
hey, look, we got to get together.
Yeah. Just woke up.
Mad interesting to me. I was about to go to sleep, and this just woke me up.